He's been shot dead.
Are you sure he is dead?
Oh, yes.
There's nothing but death all around us. Yes, what's happening here?
You weren't with us, Chesterton, but every insect we came across was dead.
Yes. Susan and I saw a great many huge dead ants.
Everything else is the same, Ian.
Yes, and we don't know what it was that killed them. But that man, he's been shot, murdered.
What would kill insects in a perfectly ordinary garden? I mean, pests one can understand, but surely it's wrong to kill bees and worms and things, isn't it?
Quite so. Both are vital to the growth of things. However, we must leave this little mystery and get back to the ship. As I said, my dear, it's fortunate for all of us that everything is dead.
Grandfather!
Welcome back, everyone, to an all-new episode of Doctor Who and Mr. Drew. It's your old time-traveling companion, John S. Drew here, and we're beginning the second series of Doctor Who with a story that was meant to actually be the first story of the series, Planet of Giants. Now, I keep referring to it as the Planet of the Giants. I feel this need to have articles in anything to feel complete. And like the story itself, this is going to be brief because, honestly, there isn't a whole lot to this story. A malfunction with the TARDIS doors causes the dimensions of the timecraft to change, shrinking everyone on board to the size of an insect. Now, landing on modern-day Earth, the crew stumbles on a murder mystery and has to figure out a way to solve it in their diminutive size. The story was written by Lewis Marks and directed by Mervyn Pinfield and Douglas Campfield. Campfield came in for the final episode, Crisis. This was production J, with 3 episodes in total, entitled Planet of Giants, Dangerous Journey, and, of course, Crisis. There are a couple of documentaries on the DVD for this story that talk about how this was cut down from 4 parts to 3. And in fact, what they actually do is they recreate episodes 3 and 4 the way it was originally scripted by bringing in 2 of the original castmates and some sound-alikes for the Doctor and Barbara. But honestly, in watching it, I felt it could have been even cut down even more. Episode 1 and part of episode 2 take a little too long to sort of set everything up. It's only with episode 2, the end of it on, that things pick up there. What makes this story stand out and worth watching are the production values on the oversized items. The briefcase, the phone, the matchbox are all done with such detail that you actually can believe that the Doctor and his companions have shrunk. But the story itself drags and doesn't really become interesting till the end of the second episode. It's also interesting to note that since the series premiered, the TARDIS has had a series of problems, if you think about it. First, there was the fast return switch in The Edge of Destruction, and then the power outage in Marco Polo, not to mention the Doctor messing with the fluid link in the Daleks. It really shows that the TARDIS was an integral part of the series and these stories. It wasn't just a conveyance to get them to and from the time periods. That, unfortunately, would change for quite some time once we start getting into the end of the Patrick Troughton, and certainly for a good part of the John Pertwee series, and even to a certain extent, even Tom Baker. The TARDIS doesn't really start having a personality again until later in the series. So, where does this one then place in my rankings? There are now 9 stories in total, and I place this one towards the bottom. It's something to behold in the visuals, but it lacks in the pacing of the story. A 2-parter might have been a better way to go. So I'm placing this in 7th position, just in front of Keys of Marinus and the Sensorites. Now, it's interesting to note, though, that the producers weren't happy with this story and actually wanted to switch it with the next episode, Dalek Invasion of Earth. And it didn't happen because of the fact that Susan was leaving and, story-wise, you had to sort of keep the continuity going there. But I also point out to you, thank goodness they didn't switch this up. Thank goodness this wasn't the first story of the series. I mean, I'm just, doesn't do it for me. I don't know. Maybe you have another opinion. Let me know by heading over to chronicriff.com or commenting on our Facebook page about the show and about this particular story. So next episode, like I said, we come to my all-time favorite Hartnell story. Well, certainly one of them from the series, Dalek Invasion of Earth. I'm looking forward to talking about it with you. Until then, this is John saying, take care.
Doctor, what happened in the laboratory? I don't remember much after the explosion.
Well, I'm happy to say our plan worked. We didn't have to fire the laboratory, but we did attract attention. Do you know a policeman came into that room just as I was about to climb down that pipe?
Good. Now, what about us? Can you get us back to normal?
Yes. There's your answer, my dear.
Grandfather, is that the seed you brought in with you?
The same seed.
Then we are back to normal.
Completely, my dear. Now, before I check up and see where we are, I suggest you all go and have a good scrub. Go on, off you go. Oh, dear, now is that irritating? I had to repair that wretched thing, and now look at it, I can't see a thing. As if it's beginning to materialize. Perhaps I shall know now where we are.